All right, guys, today we are going to do the graphic organizer for your body paragraphs. If that makes you a little nervous, take a deep breath. We're going to walk you step by step through every single thing that you need to type. It's going to be super easy peasy. So in the link in OdysseyWare, you're given two links in OdysseyWare. And one is the graphic organizer that you filled out in the last lesson, so you'll need it open. And you'll also need the new graphic organizer. It has these little colored boxes on it that look just like this. And so all you're going to do, this part in the top in the purple is actually from, you've already done it in the graphic organizer. What's your topic? And then what's your claim or your side of the argument? And you just fill that in. So my topic is school uniforms. You obviously fill it in with your topic, not with mine. And then I put my claim, and my claim is that schools should not have uniforms. Okay, so now it's just really clear to me what my side of the argument is. This is what I'm making. And so the first reason that I'm going to support my argument. Now, everything on this page should be in your own words, your own ideas. The only thing that's coming from a source is this part in blue, the evidence. Okay, so your first reason, the way that I would do this is I would look over your facts. Okay, look over the facts that you have, because right now these are listed just based on which source, which website they came from. But what you want to kind of look through is think about, what are some of my big ideas? Like how did these different little facts that I've pulled, how can I put that together for my first like big reason? And I think my first big reason is going to be that uniforms aren't actually effective. So I'm going to go back to my graphic organizer and I'm going to type in, my first reason is school uniforms aren't actually effective at solving the problems they are supposed to. Okay, so I wrote a complete sentence there. That's my first reason. So now I'm going to get a piece of evidence from my chart. So, let's see. Okay, so this would actually be a great piece of evidence. And since I've written my notes in my own words, I could actually copy and paste. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to paste in my facts right here for source 2. It's going to automatically put that bullet point in there. If you want to take it out, you can. It doesn't really matter. And then there's some extra lines in here. If you wanted to delete those out, it's up to you. That part doesn't matter at all. So here's my piece of evidence. And then which source did that come from? That actually came from source 2. And then I'm going to explain how this evidence actually supports my reason. So I'm going to say, school uniforms are supposed to help students do better in their classes, but there has been no evidence that this actually happens. So, and I can write a second sentence if I want. Sometimes students have even done worse. Okay, so now I've explained how my reason supports. And then I'm going to move on to my second piece of evidence. And I'm going to go back. And, oh, this is a really good one. Miami-Dade Public Schools. And if you want to remove the bullet point, you can. It doesn't really matter. And that came from source 1. And then I'm going to say, if there were so many more fights in these schools after uniforms started being worn, then obviously they aren't actually helping with the discipline problems in schools. Okay, and then I'm going to write my conclusion sentence. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to wrap all of this up and I'm going to say school uniforms haven't actually proven to help with any of the issues that leaders thought they would improve in schools. Okay, so now I can go back and check. I have my topic sentence, school uniforms aren't effective, and then I can say, here's my first piece of evidence, and it came from source 2. Here's my explanation of how this evidence supports that main reason. Then I'm moving on. What's the second piece of evidence? Oh, there were actually more fights. What source did that come from? And then I'm going to, in my own words, I'm just going to explain, I'm going to elaborate how this piece of evidence really supports my idea. And then I have my conclusion sentence. Okay. And then I'm going to scroll on down and I'm going to repeat that same process for body paragraph 2. I'm going to pause the video for just a moment and fill this out, and then we'll look at it together. Okay, so I filled in body paragraph 2 really quickly. And so here's my second reason all students don't have equal rights when school uniforms are enforced. I've included this piece of evidence from my research, and that came from source 1. And then I gave my explanation, and then I included another fact from source 2, and then I gave my explanation, and then I have my conclusion sentence. Okay, and so then I'm going to ask myself, does every colored box have a response? I'm going to scroll up. Yes, it does. Is every response a complete sentence that starts with a capital letter and ends with a punctuation mark, except for the yellow box, which just says like source 1, source 2? Yes, it does. Did I type exactly what was asked for in each box? Yes, I did. If you can answer yes to all the questions above, then you just click on the address bar, you copy the link, and then you go to Odysseyware and you paste the link to this document in the answer box. I can't wait to see what you've written.